It seems these days everyone has an axe to grind. The sparks fly, and the smoke rises. But out here, in our element, under an open sky and the creamy blanket of a billion stars, we grind out a different edge. To focus on the moment, the small but meaningful bits of wonder. To let the weight of the world go and seek out all the possibilities to feel alive. To be free. It's here, in the places we love, that we gain an upper hand. I will say it again. Life is short, and nothing lasts forever. Which leads me to a more enduring question. Is forever any time at all? I'm Dusty Yakker. And this past year, I decided to extract myself from the default stress of my day job for the chance at living on my own terms. And there's no looking back. A genuine American kayak fishing story is unfolding across the roads and waterways of our country. All beauty, all truth. Join us for an uncompromising journey of exploration, inspiration, and entertainment. On this edition of Ketch Outdoors, we're on the river grind for late-season smallmouth in the upper peninsula of the great state of Michigan. The leaves are on fire, and so is the fishing. Cooling water and the hints of winter have big fish stacked up in fall feeding spots. Hold on tight, and keep your hands in the boat at all times.
Got a nice one here, folks. Right here is the kind of fish that most anglers are looking for when they come to a beautiful spot up north in the North Woods.
Smallmouth bass. Insane acrobats. They sure do make a fuss on top. But to hook them, we had to make a fuss on the bottom. The star of the trip, a trusty favorite, the Rapala DT6. A light, high buoyancy crankbait with a streamlined wiggle, perfect for bouncing off the river rocks, and a great all-around crankbait choice for the colder months. The technique? Cast it out, reel it down till it hits the bottom, and then worm it through the rocks using your rod in a sideways or upward sweeping motion, pausing briefly to let the bait rise. Use your reel to manage your slack line. It was one after another for quite a while, and that's fall smallmouth fishing. When you find them, it's usually in numbers. Keep casting. If they stop biting, switch up your presentation or your casting angle. In a worst case scenario, let the spot sit for an hour. Let's talk gear. The combination I'm using here consisted of a Shimano Corrado DC 150 reel with a 6.2:1 gear ratio. It was spooled with 12-pound Sunline crank fluorocarbon and sat nicely on my Megabass Orochi swing fire rod. The lower speed reel maximizes my lure's depth without overworking it. And my rod, a 7-foot 2-inch medium action gem, designed specifically for treble hook baits, gives me the sensitivity of graphite and the forgiveness of glass. Helps me keep those flying fish pinned and lets me launch a 3/8 ounce balsa crankbait into the wind. The diameter of your line will also affect the depth of your lure. On 12-pound line, my bait hit the bottom in 5 feet of water about halfway through the cast. And the area I was fishing, it was a spot the size of a dinner table. It sat on a rocky flat in about 4 or 5 feet of water. Main river current was funneled through the entire strike zone, bordered on the shallow side by weeds and on the deeper side by a giant log. The whole area was located along the point of a long island, which forced the current around towards the plunge pool of the dam. It had all the textbook markings you could look for in a fall transition spot. Moving water, a rocky flat, isolated cover, and close access to the depths of a wintering hole.
Got him. They're gonna cross me.
Looking up at the sky and then down at the radar, it became clear the floodgates were about to open. But a spot like this, one so giving and generous, was worth the promise of 100 so-called last casts. So why bother with the moments? Those small bits of wonder? Because what feels like forever is no time at all. How we spend our days is how we spend our lives. To drown them out and muddy them attached to a device, fixated on a screen, is to have the moment chosen for us. It's to watch our lives pass by driven by someone or something else. There are forces beyond us, yes, but there are also forces within us. We can change. We can choose. Day by day, bit by bit, we become better versions of ourselves here in the outdoors.
Way to start the morning here on a Tuesday. Not sure what you're up to, but come join us for a little bit. There should be more of these to come. We just had to slow down a little bit. It's a perfect complement to what's going on with the fall here.
I suppose we all have to be reminded to slow down a bit. Get out of our heads and into our body. On this new day, and in this new spot, we got away from the crankbait and into the jig. Using a 3/8 ounce depths headlock jig, and with the help of the Megabass Dark Sleeper, I was able to drag, pop, and roll my baits with the current over chunk rock in 6 to 8 feet of water. The football-shaped head and line tie location on my jig allows for the chunk trailer to stand straight up when being rolled over the rock, flapping in the current like a wayward crayfish. When the jig bite stopped, I followed up with the sleeper, a small 3-inch swim bait that shines when peppered along the bottom. This highly underrated bait is an absolute smallie killer, especially here in the north. It has a profile that they're simply not used to seeing. It was the perfect complement to the jig. Positioned along a key bend in the river next to the main channel, the fish were stacked up again. and chomping. So we sat back and enjoyed every second of chasing that which makes us feel alive. The 21st century demands on our attention span leave us little space to think. And this is no accident. Algorithms, ads, the media, all falling over themselves in a futile attempt to drain me of me and you of you. But there is a remedy. The open space of our waterways fill. The magnetic pull of nature provides. In the outdoors, you are not a target market. Here, the excitement, the experience, the meaning is something that will never drain out of you.
One last cast. Always one last cast. That'll do it for you, folks. Let the sun shine on that bad boy.
When do you truly feel alive? And what of those possibilities? I'm Dusty Yakker, begging you to get to the places you love and find some peace with your place in the world. Gain the upper hand. We are Ketch Outdoors. Ketch Outdoors is brought to you by Dakota Lithium, the official battery of Ketch Outdoors. Power your passion with the industry's most reliable lithium battery.